Lovely to see you. It's Suzy Walker for your Monday morning motivator. I'm sorry that I'm a bit late this morning. We've had very exciting shenanigans at Psychologies HQ. We have a lovely new rescue dog called Bertie, who has just joined the team, and I will introduce you to him very soon. But right now, it's been a bit of a wild morning, so you have to excuse me for being a little bit late, and then I couldn't make any of the tech work. Working from home, I'm sure many of you are experiencing going back into the office for the first time this week. The children are going back to school. How are you feeling? Today, I just want to talk about, in our Monday morning motivation, the idea of self-sabotage. I don't know, I'm sure none of you suffer with this at all, and maybe it's just me, but I just wanted you to be aware of something called self-sabotage, and if you are aware of it, how can you stop self-sabotaging? So what is self-sabotage? Self-sabotage is you're going along nicely, chugging along, starting to achieve some goals, having a vision, starting to work towards it, then all of a sudden you find some old behaviors that may be getting in the way of you achieving what you want to achieve. You may find yourself procrastinating. Is my favorite flavor of self-sabotage, where I've got a big thing to do and I know I've got a big project to put in on Thursday and I am procrastinating. How about you? So what does procrastination look like for you? It may be finding yourself looking on your phone rather than actually doing what you need to do. So what I'm asking you to do, first of all, is notice behaviors that you may be exhibiting, so you know that you're actually self-sabotaging. So procrastination is a really big one. Flakiness. Oh, I've lost the key for the house. Oh, I've lost this document. I've lost something. Again, one I know quite well. Flakiness, does that show up in your life? Is that you're going along and then all of a sudden you start losing things, or you can't find a car, or all sorts of things. So that's another great way. Perfectionism. Oh, it's not quite perfect yet. You're constantly working. It's not perfect enough. I'll do a bit more work. I've got another week's work on that. If you find yourself doing something like that, what about, I call it rebellion. When you I'm not going to do anything that they say. I'm going to do it my way. You're always kind of putting two fingers up at the establishment, but actually you're not getting on with what you need to do to create a kind of a new wave. So there may be many ways of the ways that you self-sabotage. The first thing is, number one, is self-awareness. So look at what, being really self-aware of what your peculiar flavor of self-sabotage may be. So as soon as you can recognize the behaviors, you can go, oh, stop. And then I would ask you, the big question that I want you to ask is, what are you afraid of? Because often when we are self-sabotage, normally it is fear that is behind that way of sabotage. You're afraid of being made a fool of. You're afraid of getting it wrong. You're afraid of not being good enough. That's what, when I've been coaching clients for many years too, that's normally what comes up: the fear of not being good enough, some kind of fear. So first of all, knowing what the behavior is. Secondly, identify, what are you really afraid of? Why are you not getting on? And the third thing, finally, is finding a baby step that you can take to help dissolve the fear. Say, okay, you might be right. It may be a load of rubbish, that this project that I'm going to pick on Thursday, but what would be the baby step? So it might be that you let a friend read it. You might let a colleague read it, just to give you some feedback. So it's not sort of just putting it straight in. Or there may be, with perfectionism, could you get someone to proofread it? For example, if it is flakiness, you might have a coaching buddy that you can work beside to hold you to account. But there are small action steps that you can take that acknowledges, one, the behaviors, but two, the fear. The other piece is learning to build up your self-confidence by building what I call an evidence wall. An evidence wall is all the evidence to prove that you are good enough, that you are capable, that you are creative, all of those things, and looking for very specific examples. So whether you write those specific examples in a list, on a book, or I literally call it a wall, because my first coach made me literally hang my articles on the wall and say, I was convinced I wasn't a very good writer, and she made me literally spread the whole wall full of articles, of all the articles I've ever written, all over, and was like, wow, this is amazing. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'd been published in a lot of places, so where was this kind of belief system coming from that I wasn't good enough? And when you see an evidence wall, a wall of evidence to really challenge the belief that you're not good enough, or you're not creative enough, or whatever, it can really help you build a new belief system. So actually, if you find yourself self-sabotaging, it may be a fantastic way of finding the beliefs that may be keeping you stuck. And if you keep going round and round, if you're staying, go to the belief system beneath it. What is the belief system that may be running your self-sabotaging behaviors? Is it, I'm not good enough, I'm not creative enough, I'm not talented enough, all of those? And go there, start to build the bricks, the evidence wall of why you are good enough. And if you haven't got any bricks, sometimes you're just starting out, then say, okay, I've got to build, we've got to build competence so we can build confidence. So start with building your competence by literally saying, okay, I'm going to learn how to do that skill, that skill, that skill, and I'm going to create this. But don't make them huge, big projects. Break it down. Okay, so the question today was, how do you self-sabotage and how can you stop? I hope that's helped you today. It's a big Monday today, it feels like, because we've got going back to school, going back to work happening all over the social media. I can see it. Lots of love. I'm wishing you lots of love today, because we need lots of support today, whether you're a parent or whether you're an employee and you're going back. And I hope this video will help with your self-sabotage. Lots of love. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.